So you think you know about ADHD? Let me guess. Just another naughty child who needed discipline. That's what the ignorant are whispering. It's all a result of bad parenting. Am I right? Okay, let me see if I can open your mind. ADHD is an explanation, not an excuse. You can't judge us academically on the results we produce, and perhaps I should introduce an insight for you. You see, some are obtuse and some are acute. Everybody's different. ADHD is a neurological condition. Research has found that there's a difference in cognition, often difficult to listen. This is chronic inattention. And it is common that many of us are found to be a comic in detention. Deadlines need extensions, misunderstood intentions. And did you know many ADHDers are responsible for inventions? Henry Ford, Thomas Edison and Albert Einstein couldn't always confine. And you may find that their assignments were not always on time. Having ADHD does not equate to failure. It does not mean that because we are often deemed as underachievers who struggle to function in the everyday world, that we are to assume a life of disappointment. So he or she missed the appointment to help their behaviour that is poignant. It doesn't mean they don't care. They're just extremely forgetful. I mean, who walks up to a cash machine and withdraws £10 or 15 and walks away without the money? I did that. And who takes a dog out for a walk on a lead and remembers later that they left the dog at home? I did that. How many things have you forgotten? ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. I'd say for definite we can't keep things in order. Hyperactive? Maybe a little. Actually, that's a massive understatement. It's like trying to put a straitjacket on a tornado. And by the way though, in the words of Plato, never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. We'll get there in the end. It's just a matter of patience and perseverance, so please be mindful of your level of interference. ADHDers are not what you hear in the media. We are sensitive and caring, and yes, maybe even a little more daring than your average person. This is an asset. Especially if you want to change the world, it requires taking risks. Someone to clench their fists and throw a punch at life. And as Einstein said it, a ship is always safe at the shore, but that's not what it's built for. So if you're afraid to jump, you can always rely on the ADHDer to test the waters first. And here's a tip, don't always expect the worst. Movers, dreamers and risk takers for sure, but before you make a judgment you better be sure that you know some of the facts for why we act the way we act. How does getting slapped ever keep things intact? That's all we need after all, isn't it? A slap. That being said, let's strike the man in the wheelchair for not walking because I guess there's nothing real there. No need for violence to be involved, for that's problem silenced, not problem solved. There are other ways and means. ADHD consists of 3 core symptoms: inattention, hyperactivity and impulsivity. Studies suggest we associate with high-level creativity and have the ability to hyperfocus and excel in areas we are most interested in. Our brains work in such a way that if something is unstimulating, we become restless, loud, sit with our head in the clouds or become a class clown. And no matter how hard we try to sit still and focus, it just seems hopeless. So take notice of what I'm saying. We are so much more than what we're displaying and are not just some kid that's disobeying the rules. So you think you know about ADHD? Perhaps you might want to check again. Life is not just a case of breathe and count to 10 and everything will be fine. We're running out of time. We're like clocks with no hands, finding it difficult to follow through on our plans. Motivation and logic stuck in endless traffic jams, heads crammed with space rockets unmanned. Once we're thrown into an idea, we run ourselves off track, and we're indecisive boomerangs that don't know when to come back, overloading our backpacks and coming home with bad backs. For adventures in the mind, they're jammed with mind maps. Confronting relapse, we're jumping jacks, jumping gaps, lumberjacks looking for something to wax. Relax, you might say. Am I going too fast? I'm an ocean-flowing enthusiast on a raft until they lump me with the papers and tasks is when I crash, because I fail to understand what it is I'm being asked. So, you think you know about ADHD? Check again.